welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into something I've been thinking about for a while. Camera bags. I don't think there's such a thing as a perfect camera bag. You know, the whole one bag to rule them all. Each of these bags has their own purpose, and over the years I've built up quite the collection. Most of these are Peter McKinnon bags, either Nomatic or Gomatic depending on where you're from, but they each serve a different function. I use each and every one of these bags. As you can see, they are all a little bit worn up, beaten up, and yeah, today I just want to walk through them, show you what bags I use and how I load them out. While there's no perfect camera bag for me, I do think a combination of two of these bags could make the perfect camera bag. Let's take a look at them and I'll explain how I use them in each different scenario. First up, we've got the 35-litre Peter McKinnon Travel bag. Now this isn't your everyday bag, it is my absolute workhorse. I've taken this to every single wedding I've ever shot. It's packed with a bunch of features and it came with its own little camera cube that turns into its own little backpack as well. I actually got this with the camera cube and a bunch of other accessories like the memory card holders, battery packs and the filter lens. It also came with a tech pouch, which I use for my action cameras. It holds absolutely everything I would need on a wedding day, from cameras, lenses and a bunch of extra gear that I might need just in case. Now, it is huge, but I think it's one of those bags that's best when you really do need to carry quite a lot. That said, I wouldn't actually use it for travel, but for work, for weddings or big shoots, it absolutely shines for me. I'll do a separate video going into the loadout that I put into my wedding cameras in a different video, but I just want to talk through some of the features that this has. So you've got a back panel that opens up with a really stiff zip. It could be a bit looser, but it does the job. It keeps everything nice and secure. You've got mesh nets, you've got all the dividers. Now, I'm sure you've all done bag searches. This isn't a new bag. I'm sure you're well aware of what this bag can do. But for me, this is my everyday wedding bag. If I'm doing a wedding, I'm bringing this bag. Doesn't matter how long the wedding's for. It keeps my flashes, keeps 2 bodies, keeps 3 or 4 lenses, it keeps my drone. And if I need to bring my video rig, I will pack that in my next bag. And that comes as a separate carry-on for me. I've also got space to store my laptop in here. And I also have space to store my iPad. Now, I do bring a lot of gear with me to weddings. I don't use probably a third of what I bring to weddings, but I like to have it just in case. I'd rather have it there and not need it than need it and not have it. That's just kind of how I approach weddings. It also came with a bunch of different dividers. It's got a bunch of handles around the top, bottom, sides, so you can pick that up from any direction. And if you need to place it down, it's really good. I typically work out of it. I will find a quiet corner, typically by the DJ booth, and I'll normally leave this with the top down unzipped, so that if I needed to quickly change the lens, I can flip this up and get into the bag, and there's no dramas. I then pull the back down. I'll normally have extra batteries in the top. I'll have extra accessories, screws, etc. in the bottom. And I'll have my 2 cameras on my harness with me anyway. So if for any reason this was ever to get lost, I'd still have my cameras with me. I'll just be losing quite a lot of lenses and gear. So far so good. I never really leave this in an area where it's out of sight, and I normally leave it near the DJ booth or with the DJ, so at least it's being looked at. And to be honest, people at weddings aren't going to rob you. They're there to have a good time, so I've been pretty lucky, I think. I've heard some horror stories in the past. Now, as I said, this bag also came with the Camera Cube, which seems to be sold out everywhere. It's actually one of my favourite bags. I probably use this more than I use the Sling. But the great thing about this is you can stuff this in the top of the bag, and I normally use my drone and any like spare lens I might need to pack in here and some extra batteries. But if I'm going out on a little weekend trip or just for a day hike, this is really handy to just fold out, pull out, and I can normally fit a hoodie, water bottle, some snacks in there as well. And I normally, if I'm taking this out, I put my capture clip on the left side, and that allows me to just hook my camera in there, so I'm not going in and out of the bag all the time. This was really useful for me when I took it to Turkey on my honeymoon recently. We went to Cappadocia. If you ever get a chance, highly recommend it. It was absolutely beautiful. But yeah, this is a great little bag. It is very worn and torn, as you can probably see. I've scuffed this up. I use this quite a lot, and yeah, don't regret getting these two at all. This is my daily workhorse. If I was to lose this, if it was to burn, smolder, combust randomly, I would buy this again in a heartbeat. In fact, I've just seen it go on sale over Black Friday for, I think it was like £300 on Amazon. I was really tempted to buy another one because this one's a bit beaten up, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's still fully functional. I just need to get a bit of a cloth and wipe it over, and it'll be perfectly good again. On to the next one. Now we've got the 25-litre bag. Now this is definitely my most versatile bag. I ordered this with the small camera cubes and the large camera cubes, which I have here and here. I typically don't leave them set up for cameras to go in. I have all my dividers pulled out in separate camera cubes. Typically when I load out a cube, it's not in the same format, and it depends what I'm bringing, what I need to use. So I always take my dividers out and I will reload out when I need to. But I find the camera cubes are a really good place to store all the extra dividers that you might need. I can set this thing up in so many different ways with the whole ladder system that it utilizes. If I want one camera cube or two small camera cubes, or even one big large one, or even I can take the entire thing out and just use it as a big dump bag if I need to, which I have done. And in fact, when I went to Turkey, I brought this and this together, and this fits perfectly in the bottom of here, and allows me to fill the rest of this up with clothes if I'm traveling. So I can actually fit a week's worth of clothes in here, as well as a camera with 2 lenses and an action camera, all in this bag, which allowed me to travel quite lightly, which is quite freeing within an airport, not having to cart everything around with you. So in here, we have, of course, 2 magnetic water bottle sides. I do like this. I hate it when bags have the side access. I never use it. It gets in the way, and I find if you're traveling, it forces you to organize your bag in a way that you don't want to, because you want to use the side access. I think I've got 2 or 3 bags that have side access, and I never use it. If I'm getting into my bag to get a camera, I'm going in, getting what I need, and putting the bag back on my back. It also has a laptop sleeve, which I can fit my 16-inch MacBook into, which is really good. And I really like the shelf that it has on top. So if I just need to put my camera in here, or my EDC pouch or my tech pouch, I can put everything I need in the top of here, and then have all my camera stuff below, which is a really nice separation. It's a nice way to have access into the bag without having to get into the bag. If you wanted to make this a bit deeper, you can push that further in, and then you've got all of that space inside to utilize for everyday stuff. And then you can fit a small camera cube in the back of here, and we'll show you that now. So if you just wanted to put one small camera cube in there, that fits really nicely. You can also, if that's zipped up, you can access that through the magnetic top. I really like that touch, it's really nice. Then you've got these 2 dividers. Now, I've seen a few different styles of these. It seems that they might have changed it after some point to have separate sleeves. I've seen a bunch of different videos. I'm not sure why mine has 2 big compartments, but I actually prefer this. I can fit a lot more in here. It fits my batteries really well, and I don't find it stretches out too much. So really like this. Another way you can load this out, you can stick this on its side to go into there, and if you were to pull the ladder system out, you can actually velcro that to the back, so you can actually reach your camera gear from the inside without having to open up the back, and then that completely keeps it separate. Whatever you've got in here, you'll need to open the back up to get to. I've used that a couple ways. I don't really put anything on top if that's going to be the case. If I'm going to a Western Built Arboretum, for example, I might not want to get my whole camera bag out and open it up. I just want to be able to dig into my bag, grab what I need, change a lens, etc. I'm not bringing a bunch of gear with me if I'm operating from this way, but I find it's very useful to have that function. 9 times out of 10, if I'm using this bag, I am using it to fit either 2 of these in, or I will load it out with the big boy. If I'm just doing a family photo shoot, or maybe it's a wedding for a couple of hours, I might use this bag. Definitely for weddings, definitely for family shoots, I'll load it out this way, and I'll have 1 or 2 cameras in here with a couple of lenses. Don't need my drone. I'll bring a flash, of course, and if I need to, I can pop the flash in here if I don't have space up here. So this is really useful for that. And then it's really light to sit on your back, especially when you've got the harness on and you're holding the cameras in your hands. So really useful. I initially got this bag with the intention of using it every day for work. As it says, it's an everyday camera bag, but it's just a bit bulky to use for a day job. Traveling into London every now and then, having a laptop and a camera with you, just got a bit bulky. It's a bit too big for London tubes. I found I was bumping into things, catching on things, but it is a brilliantly versatile bag. And I did use it in London for probably about a year. It is quite scuffed. I don't treat this very well at all. I don't look after my gear. If I need to chuck it down, I'll chuck it down. It's got lots of mud and grit and dirt. Needs a good clean. But yeah, absolutely love this bag. Would buy again in a heartbeat. Recommend to anyone. As I said before as well, this travels really, really well. So I've taken this with me to Norway on a cruise. I've taken this to Turkey with me on my honeymoon. I've even taken this to the US and even Canada when I went to Toronto for work. Of course, stopping by the Peter McKinnon coffee shop. That was a really cool day out. And this bag was perfect for everything. The only thing I don't like about this bag, the way it opens up, the camera strap, the shoulder straps are quite firm. They're not the most comfy. I mean, once they're on, they're fine. You don't really tend to notice it too much, but I do feel like they are a bit rigid. It's got the chest strap here, which is really good just to strap everything up. Takes the weight off your shoulders a little bit more, puts it onto your back. And I would probably do away with these magnetic pieces. I'd find another solution. There's another bag I'm going to show in a moment that actually has a different solution for the tripod pockets, which I really like. So at the end of this, I will talk about what I would do as a hybrid bag, mixing this bag with another bag. But moving on, I then have the 8-litre Sling, which is brilliant if you're just going out on a day trip. If you just want to bring a camera and a lens and perhaps your drone, I can fit my 24 to 240 in here quite comfortably with my Mavic Mini 3 Pro. The controller fits up in here. It is quite the Tetris game to fit everything into here, but you can fit pretty much everything you might need if you just can shoot on one lens. I also like bringing this with just the 50mm 1.2 with a camera, a drone. That's also quite a nice day out. And of course you can fit different lens accessories. You can fit different filters in here, accessories, batteries, memory cards. And I really like the way that this is just a working out solution. So if you pull this in front of you, you can work out of here quite easily. It's got the elastic strap on there. You can just hook into the top here quite easily. I really like that touch. So when you're working on the back, when you're working with your camera, you don't have to worry about zipping everything up. You can pop the camera back in there, and then that clips back in, and nothing's going to fall out of there. It's quite secure. The only thing I do wish about this bag is that this strap was detachable. Now, I do understand why they've made it permanent, because you want it to be nice and secure, but I feel like there's a solution there somewhere to be able to remove this for when you just want to have a pack-out cube securely in your car. So if I'm going on a road trip, I will put a camera and a drone in here, and I'll close it up and I'll sit in my footwell. If I'm just going on a personal adventure, and I'll put that in my car. I don't necessarily want to bring the strap with me, but it's attached, so I kind of have to. It's got a good little grip on the back of here, so you're not going to lose it very easily. It's quite thin, but it's padded enough that it's not uncomfortable to hold. Yeah, you can tell I take this on a lot of dirty hikes. If I'm going on my mountain bike, if I'm going out skateboarding, this is normally the bag I'm bringing with me for a camera and a drone. It's really good. Highly recommend this one. I've seen that they're bringing out a 13-litre messenger style bag, which I will be buying. I think that'll be really handy for me travelling into London for work, and probably be a bit easier to pack out with what I need on different adventures. I also have a bit of a bag issue in that I like collecting them, so I will be collecting that one as well as soon as it comes out. I have messaged Nomatic, they said it'll be coming out next month, so roll on December, cannot wait. Then we have a bag that has slowly become one of my favourite bags, not because it's great for weddings or doing photo shoots or working out of as a photography professional, but it's really good as a working professional with a day job that you want to bring your work laptop with you, an iPad, as well as a camera, some gear, and enough space at the top to fit your EDC. So I will normally put my Meta glasses in here, my tech pouch, my charger, things like that. You've got space here for a water bottle. It's using that same magnetic system, which I don't dislike on this bag. I think it's quite good. It's got a different material to it, but I think it's a bit more day job professional, a bit more appropriate for work. And it's relatively low profile. It's quite thin. It's only 18 litres, but you can fit quite a lot in here. I think with the whole mirrorless range, them being smaller cameras, this was definitely designed with mirrorless in mind. I do have to put my R6s standing upright rather than on their side, which I normally do in the deeper camera bags, but this will fit a body, 2 lenses, drones, flash. It's all good. If I need to bring it, I can bring it, but I'll typically pack this out with 1 body, 2 lenses. This is just for me going out and about, so I'll normally bring the 50-1.2 and the 20-40-240. I actually really like that lens. I'm going to do a review on that one. I think it's very underestimated, but no, I really like this. It's got a zipper pouch at the top here for handy grab business cards, at least that's what I use it for. I actually got these cool business cards from Moo, and they've got this feature where you can print a photo on the back and you can have your business card on the front. So I've got, at all times, my portfolio in my pocket, which I quite like to do. So you can sort of hand these out to guests or anyone asking for your business card and sort of show off your portfolio quite easily. Little tip there. So they normally sit in there. I normally carry business cards in any of my camera bags. Never know which one I'm going to bring, so I tend to spread them out a little bit. Now, what I like about this one specifically is that the laptop access is through the top. You don't need to lay it down. You don't need to open up the back. You can just get straight in there and grab whatever you need. That's really good. That is then followed with the same style that Nomatics tend to do on their camera bags. I really wish they would just open sideways, but they're focused on doing the bags this way. I really hate camera bags opening this way. It is what it is. But yeah, I can fit a body, a couple of lenses, flash, drone in there if I need to, but you can also access the top hatch from behind, which is really good. It's kind of like a floating shelf here. A couple of smaller pockets for batteries, accessories can go in here. It's a really, really good bag. Really like it. As I said, low profile. I can get on the tube on this without any problem. Doesn't cause any issues, doesn't get caught, doesn't get bumped into. It's got a much easier zip that goes around and it feels really secure. I do like having my camera bags with their back open, just because I feel like my cameras are a bit more secure. No one's going to be able to rob me unless they rob the bag. And I also rock this with a capture clip always on the left side. I've got a few of these and I tend to move it to whichever bag I'm using, but because this is basically my daily carry if I'm leaving the house that's not for a photo shoot, I will keep this on here all the time. I'm either going through a city or doing some street photography or going to work in London. This is absolutely brilliant. Love this bag. There is also a pass-through, so if you want to pot it onto luggage, you can do that as well. I've not actually travelled with this bag abroad or even flown with it, but it's really nice. I also love how all the Nomatic bags stand up on their own. That is a really nice feature. And one more thing that I think, for some reason, when I've watched reviews of this bag, a lot of people seem to have missed this fact. So yes, there is a water bottle pouch which some people are using for tripods, but I think some people, for some reason, are not aware that just inside the bottom of here, you also have a tripod attachment. So I'm going to show you how I use that. So this bag also comes with this elastic strap. Now what you do, let's zip this up, make it a bit more firm. What you would do is you take your travel tripod, you stick the first leg in there, you then take this elastic strap, I like to take it over the top and pass it through the other side, and then you've got this sort of hook and loop attachment that you can clip on, and then you just pull down on this tab, and that is really secure. That's not going anywhere. It is really locked in there. I've taken this with me if I'm going for landscape shots or if I'm just going for a little walk. This is a really easy way to carry it. Now, of course, once you've got a tripod on the outside of your bag, it's very obviously a camera bag, but that goes without saying, whether it's on the side or whether it's on the back. But I do find that even when that's in there, it makes it a bit more stable when it's standing up. It's not going to fall forward. It does lean because of the weight, but with the legs there, it is pretty stable, pretty secure. I think this is a really innovative solution to carrying a travel tripod. Now, the travel tripod of my choice, of course, is the Peak Design travel tripod. It's the aluminium one, not the carbon fiber one. I'm not splurging out on that much money to save a pound of weight, but it's done me well. I've had this for about 4 or 5 years now. Peak Design. So we'll take that off of there just to make that easier for me to put away. And then you can pull that off. And when you're not using it, you just tuck that back up inside. Again, I think that's a really useful design. And when you're not using this, you can roll this up and tuck it into that top zip. So that's always with you, just in case. And yeah, really like this bag. It's become my everyday bag if I'm leaving the house or going to work. As long as it's not for a professional shoot, this is the bag I'm taking. As I've said, I do a lot of hiking and exploring. I like to go on some adventures. Now in the UK, that does mean I'm in the rain. And this was the bag I decided to go for my travel, hiking, exploring, adventure bag. And I think it's quite fitting that this is called the Explorer V2. I went with the 30 litre capacity. I felt this was the ideal size for me. I like the way that the camera straps, and this is my favorite way a camera bag opens. It's like a book. And then when that's down there, that's still not touching the ground. It's up, it's safe, it's dry. It's really, really good. I love it. Now, these straps are also my favorite camera bag straps. I wish every bag had these. I wish these were completely removable, that I could attach on every other bag. But there's a Velcro lock-in loop here that you can sort of attach into these, and you can select the small, medium or large depending on your size, and that's really accessible, really usable. When I'm not using this bag, because it's not very often I do take it out, probably 3-4 times a year, I will unhook the straps and I will stow them inside the bag, just because it makes it easier for storage to hang on the wall, so I'm not scratching up my paintwork. But what I really like about these is you've got enough space in here to fit your phone. There's a expandable zip pocket on one side, and then there is another pocket on this side, which you can fit some snacks, some food. There's also a little loop here if you want to attach an external microphone, which is really good. And this also has a similar camera cube solution to the Nomatic Everyday bag. Now this is the mirrorless camera cube, so it's slightly shallower than the DSLR camera cube. But in here, if I'm going hiking, traveling, I only bring one camera with me because I'm not risking losing more than that. I'll have a couple of lenses in here and my drone. The drone controller I normally fit into the top of here. Now the reason I went for the medium sized cube over the large cube was because it allows me, and that fits, it's so easy to stick that in there, but it's locked in there. But the reason I use the medium cube is because it also allows me to have access to this top pouch here, which I use as sort of my lunch box. When I'm hiking, I'll put all my food and all my snacks in the top of here. There's plenty of space in there, lots of room. So I can normally fit my jet boil in here with some MRE food ration packs, some water bottles, and my tech pouch, charger, battery banks, etc. And that all goes in the top of here. If it's not camera related, it will go in here. If it's camera related, I will pop it in here. You've also got a laptop sleeve. Now this will fit the 16-inch MacBook, but if I'm hiking, I'm normally just bring my iPad. I just find that's a lot easier. I've got the iPad M1 Pro, the 12.9 inch. Probably will be upgrading to the M4, maybe in January sales. Let's see how much that comes down. Probably not. But yeah, really like this bag. It's brilliant. I've chucked on some extra carabiners on here, so if I need to clip anything into it. I like taking this bag with me when I'm going on like a weekend wild camp. So I'll strap my tent to here, I'll strap my sleeping bag onto here, and I'll park up and I'll just go hiking, and I'll find somewhere to sleep, set my tent, and I'll take some photography. Looking forward to doing that in the spring next year, so I'll take some video of that. There is also a removable waist strap, which I have stored over there somewhere, and that goes on there. That is a really comfortable waist strap as well. Shimoda really did a great job on this bag. If it looked a bit more professional, it would be my favorite camera bag. I would say it's probably my favorite camera bag as a whole, but I just don't feel it's professional enough to take to weddings or shoots, and the capacity is not enough to carry everything I need to carry. But this is a brilliantly well thought out bag. Really looking forward to them bringing out future bags, seeing what they do with that concept there. Now, on to what I was talking about earlier at the very start of this. I think this bag would make a perfect camera bag if it was hybrid with this bag. My favourite things about the Nomatic bag are the ladder system, the camera cube system. It's brilliant. I love the versatility that provides, the top-down access, being able to use it as a complete backpack. But I hate the camera straps on this, and I hate the way it opens up. I also think the tripod bags in here are a lot better. They stow away and you can pack them out. You've got little clips here if you want to secure it, or when you're not using it, they pack away, and you've got a really slim, sleek bag with nothing to catch. So if I was to design my own bag, I would make a hybrid of these two bags. I would have the way that this opens up. I would have these camera straps. They're just so comfortable. It is a bit of a pain to fit the capture clip on here, but you can do it with a bit of a squeeze, and if you use an Allen key, that's a lot easier to tighten them up. But yeah, these camera straps are just perfect. So I would put these camera straps on that bag. But I love the styling of these Peter McKinnon bags. They have really hit it out of the park. As I said, just a few things I would change. So if anyone's listening out there, put these two together. They're great. So those are my camera bags. That's what I think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If maybe there's another camera bag I should be aware of or maybe look at, leave it in the comments below. I'll have a look. These two bags are my absolute favourites, even though the 35 litre is my go-to for weddings. It's just a workhorse. It carries so much. Love to know your thoughts. Leave comments below. I don't do the whole like, follow, subscribe thing. Do what you want to do. You know what to do. If you like it, great. Cheers, guys. I'm just making videos for fun. So see you around. Hopefully hear from you soon.